Alright guys, so if you saw my last video, you would have already seen these cards, but some feedback from people was that they preferred to see the cards in person versus the screen. So I'm going to do a little PSA reveal, secondary reveal on the order that just came back. So if you saw my last video and you don't feel like looking at the cards in person, that's okay. Feel free to skip ahead and not watch this one. But if you did watch the last one and you wanted to see the cards in person, the only one that I don't have because it already sold is the 51 Bowman Roy Campanella. I already had to ship that one out. So without further ado, let's start with the cards that did not get graded. Obviously, I forgot to check before I sent this one out. But we've got 71 Topps Roberto Clemente. I was not paying good enough attention when I bought it, and I did not look on the side and catch that this card had been recolored. I don't know if you can see it there, but you can see it got recolored. So I'm pretty frustrated with that. I'm going to contact the seller because it was not disclosed and Whatnot. It's too late to get a refund from Whatnot because their refund policy is like a week after you receive the card. So too late for that, but I'm going to reach out to the seller and see if they'll do something about it anyways. And then the next one, we've got a 62 Topps Duke Schneider. They labeled it miscut, do not holder. I mean, that's not very bad if you ask me. So I think I might send it back in with my next order. I mean, yeah, obviously it's off, but I'm going to try it again. We'll see what happens. But for now, did not get graded. We'll try again if it's worth it. I'll look up the comps again and see if it's something that's worth it or not. But next up, we're going to go with the Willie McCovey 1974 Topps. When we sent this one out, I guessed it was going to be a 6 or a 7. Just a really nice clean card, and it came back a 7. Front and back, very clean. Honestly, if it weren't for centering, I bet you that thing could have gotten an 8 with how clean it was. So happy with that one. Next, we've got a 74 Bob Gibson. I guess 6 or 7 on this one. It does have very good centering, but it's not quite as sharp as the McCovey. But the centering was good enough to get it an 8. So I'm obviously happy with that one. I was guessing 6 or 7 for it to come back as an 8. Next, we have a 71 Topps Bob Gibson. I guessed this one was going to be a 5 or a 6. Conservatively, honestly, I think it looks as good as 6s, especially with the centering. And I'm happy to say it came back a 6. Next, we have a Tony Canigliaro. This one's a little bit cleaner than the Gibson. The corners are nicer, but there's a little extra... Where was it? I thought there's a little ding. Oh, no, that's the Garvey. So, yeah, it's better, but got the same grade. Must be the top to bottom centering that knocked it down to a 6. Next, we have a 71 Steve Garvey. This one's very similar to the Gibson in centering, but a little bit better corners, but it does have an extra nick here. However, PSA gave that one a 6.5. And I believe this is the last 71 since the Clemente didn't get graded. This one is obviously not centered very well, but probably the cleanest overall condition other than that. And that one came back a 6. I thought it was going to be a 6 or a 7. Obviously, with the centering, wasn't going to get the 7. Next, we have a 64 Roberto Clemente. I guess this was going to be a 5 or a 6 when we sent it in. Obviously, centering is not great top to bottom or left to right. And because of that, it did come back a 5. But we're still in the range of what we were guessing there. Next, we have a 68 Topps Carl Yastrzemski. It's got pretty decent centering, and the corners aren't super sharp. I'd say 2 of the corners are really nice. One is a little fuzzy, not super sharp, and the other one is kind of in between. And I guessed, again, a 5 or a 6, and it came back an 8. Obviously, the surface is really nice and clean. The back is really nice and clean. The back's pretty well centered as well. So, super happy with that one coming back an 8. I thought it was going to be, again, I thought it was going to be a 5 or a 6. Oh, I didn't cover that one. I forgot. This one probably shouldn't have sent it in, but it's a Hank Aaron. I wanted to get it slabbed up. So, came back a 3.5. I thought it was going to be a 4. And I knew it didn't really have a chance at a 5, but I guessed a 4 or a 5. It came back 3.5. Next, we've got a 59 Topps Aaron Club's World Series Homer. I thought this was going to be a 6 or a 7. It's as clean as a 7, I would say. PSA gave it a 6, though. So I'm guessing it's because this centering here on the back is not great, and there's something right here that I don't remember seeing. I probably did see it, I just don't remember it. Looks like maybe a pen mark. So if that is a pen mark, that means they thought this was an 8. Without the pen mark, it would have been an 8. Next, we've got a 64 Topps Hank Aaron. This bad boy is sharp. I thought this one was going to get a 7 or an 8 with how sharp it is. I mean, look at how good that picture is. Centering is pretty good, not perfect. Corners are pretty good. But it came back a 6. So somebody on my last video pointed out that the cartoon is rubbed off, so maybe there was some damage, but I don't see any coin marks. I think they just dock you for having it obviously be scratched at some point to make the cartoon show. So unfortunately for that, keeps it from being a 7 or an 8, because that's a sharp card. Next, we have a 67 Topps Hank Aaron. Might be the cleanest and sharpest card I sent in, but obviously the centering is not good at all. I kind of forgot when I was guessing how hard they hammer the centering, so I was guessing 6 or 7 on this one, and it came back a 5. Still happy with the grade. Very sharp, very clean card, but obviously it's not going to be a 6 or 7 with that centering. Next, we have a 58 Topps Ted Williams All-Star. Very clean and good centering card. There is a tiny bit of something here on his hat. I couldn't tell when I was sending it if it was just print marks or snowflakes or what it was, but still a nice card. And I guessed it was going to be a 6 or a 7, and it came back a 7. So very happy with that, obviously. That's a big card for me there. Next, we have a Willie Mays All-Star. Honestly, I thought this one was as clean as the Ted Williams, and I still feel like it is. It's just not as well centered. So when I sent it out, I guessed it was going to be a 5 or 6 because of centering, and PSA gave it a 4. But I'm not sure why. I mean, if you guys see anything as I move it around, let me know. But it seems like a nice clean card. So I'm not sure what they were seeing, but that's a PC card. I'm not gonna sell it. So maybe at some point I'll crack it and resubmit it. I'm not sure what they saw, but they obviously saw something to give it a 4. Next, we have another 58 Topps Willie Mays. This is just the base one. I thought it was going to be a 4 or a 5 because it's got some staining on the back, and PSA gave it a 4. Obviously, you can see all 4 corners do have some sort of a mark on them. Still a nice card. Still happy with that. It's a Willie Mays. Another PC card. I'm not selling any Willie Mays right now. Next, we've got a 62 Topps rookie card for Fran Tarkenton. I thought this one was going to be a 5 with hopes of a 6, and PSA gave it a 6. So very happy with that. I'm a Minnesota Vikings fan, born and raised in Minnesota. Very happy with getting a 6 on that one again. That's going to be a PC card for sure. Love seeing that one come back. And the final card that I have to show, because again the Campanella is gone, is the Harmon Killebrew 1960 Topps. I guess this was going to be a 7 or an 8. It is super clean. I don't know what they saw. They gave it a 6. Super, super sharp, clean card. Again, let me know if you guys see anything. But I think they did me dirty on this one. This one is, again, it's a PC card. I'm not going to crack and resend right now, but definitely at some point it will be going back in for grading because I think they did me dirty. So let me know what you guys think. Which is your favorite? I would say for me, it's going to be these 3 are my favorite cards. I don't want to sell the Ted Williams, but you know, with how much money I've been spending with intentions of flipping, that guy came back with such a good grade. I kind of don't have much of a choice but to sell it, I don't think, unfortunately. But everything else that I didn't say is a PC card is available. So if you see anything you like, let me know. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't. And in the meantime, until the next video, God bless. We'll see you next time.